Right, welcome back. Bit late on this video because work got in the way, but this is part 2 of getting this front on, and yeah, we're slowly but surely making our way to having this car back on the road and sorted. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, end of October, trying to get the front on now. Thought this could go on quite quickly, but made a slight error. All this stuff here that you see that I've taken apart to fit onto here, this is an LCI, so this is the facelift stuff. Now, it will go on, but there are some parts that have been slightly adjusted, which is a bit annoying because you would question why it needed to be done, because normally LCI is facelift. But the crash bar does not fit onto here, and the reason you sort of think is because when you look at this, it's a different shape to that. See, there's a small kink in there, and that's not that. So I'm going to have to get these legs off so I can fit this bar onto the legs. So we need to go in further and pull these out, which is not what I wanted at all. And by pulling these out, I think this has got to come, but I could be wrong. We're just going to undo these and then see how we get on. But yeah, not what I wanted at all. So yeah, so we're going to work on those bolts in there, see if it comes out. Oh, right, okay, so not going to plan. I was going to put it on the tripod, but once I got moving and going and in the swing of things, I was going to put it on a tripod. But we have an issue, and the issue is these two bolts in here, these big ones, they are proper. They need to come out in order for me to remove these. And I can't get these out on either side for love nor money. They are, I don't know what I'm gonna, well, I don't have the tools on me to do it. So I've removed the bottom ones for the minute, and I'll come to that in a sec. These ones need going because I think this bracket here is wrong. So we need to get that gone and get the ones that I took out from the original, or from my new crash bar. So that's going to delay things slightly. I've just hooked this on for the minute, just to see that it's partly fits, which it does. That's only just part of it, obviously. Now, these here are the bottom, we'll call them the bottom legs. So they're designed to absorb and take the impact. And initially, again, didn't really look like there was any problems with those. I'm now come to the conclusion that actually there's a slight problem. Whether or not it would actually affect it, I don't know. But if you look, this is more kinked than that one. So whilst they appeared on the scale whilst on the car, I have luckily got from the new crash panel 2 legs, so I'm going to replace them, which hopefully means that this will all just line up nicely as and when these get taken out and the new ones put on, and then the crash bar can go on, and then we are getting there, but I can't do that, so I'm going to have to get my mechanic who's coming in the week to sort out a Fiat to help me get these out, and then hopefully we're into like the final phase of the build, getting the front on and everything. So yeah, I was really hoping that pretty much I could do most of this by myself, but those bolts just, I've tried it with these, so they're just not going and not easy at all. But yeah, hopefully this will all come together. Unlike Paul's 2 Series Tourer, there is not a massive amount to the front of this. There's not a massive amount of plastic. There's not a massive amount of after parts and just continuous building up of the front. It's fairly basic. It's just getting those bolts out, and then we can then sort out everything else that goes with it. So it looks bare, but actually it can build up quite nicely at the front. Right. And I don't know if I mentioned it, the car is totally and utterly flat, so yeah, there's probably something else I could do. I could probably clean the inside, but the only thing with cleaning the inside is at the moment it's being used to store all the parts in. So once all the parts have come out, then I can give everything a good old clean. So yeah, right, that's the end of this section. Saturday, so got the old date night with the missus, so I need to get looking less grubby, let's just say, and scrub up. Otherwise yeah, I'll be looking, well, she'll be obviously punching well above me. So anyway, that's enough of my private life. Let's get this done, come back in a few days and get it sorted. I don't know, day 1052. Right, so let me just have a quick look at something. Just want to make sure. Why do I think I might have to come back to that? Why do I think I put these lower on? Surely that's not been taken off by someone in the middle of the night. Okay. Anyway, we'll come back to that. The main thing is, these, as you know, need to be taken out, and these are the bolts that hold them in here in the corner. They have been taken out. Got my mechanic to effectively use his impact driver, which is some massive, great, big, huge thing, and with a bit of, well, they were proper stuck in there. So he's managed to get them out. But good old BMW design engineering. This is the headlight bracket under here, and it's attached to here. So you'd think it will be quite easy, but the actual bolt is on the inside in here, and you can't get to it. So in order to get these out, I need to unscrew the headlight bracket, and I need to take off this top slam panel, and then we need to effectively move the radiator forward so I can get to the inner bolt, which is basically tucked in here. So yeah, so I'm going to start on this part here. We'll get this off again, and then we'll yeah, try and hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll all come out easy. So I'm going to get some gloves on because this is going to be quite dirty, and yeah, we'll get this all off. Right, this wasn't moving as much as I thought it would, as you can kind of see. However, because these bolts were undone from here, I kind of slid it out and then sort of moved the headlight and sort of just basically pulled the bracket, pulled that all forward, and was able to get an angle on it to get the inside one. So the two new bar crash chassis legs are in, and I'm just going to tighten that one up. And then these two, as you can kind of see, really, I think that's all bent there, and this peg, that's all been bent up as well. So yeah, it's don't know why I even thought, to be fair, that was gonna even work. Didn't really see that, my mistake. But anyway, it doesn't matter, because we have those. We'll get those in, and then we are pretty much ready to start getting the front on. So yeah, let's get these big, massive, huge, that's the size of my penis, get the bolts in. Oh, okay, so we're getting there. The air in duct, whatever you want to call it, is all hooked up in there. Plastic, hook it in. The centre bar, strut bar, whatever you want to call it, is also in place. This is from an LCI version, and what happens is this plug here plugs in, and effectively when it's cold, those slats at the bottom shut, and obviously when it needs air, they open. That's not what this car is about, because it's not an LCI version. So that wire there is going to just remain dormant, because I don't believe I've got connectors, but at the moment there's going to be fog lights, parking sensors, and windscreen washer. But anyway, just got to see how that all turns out. But anyway, this is all now in, and we now just got to put this bar on, and we also got to get, I'll tell you what, at 41 my back is really not so good. This one here, what's happened here? There we go. So that needs to sit in the bottom, down in there as well. And I need to get the front struts, the lower legs on down there, and then we'll be nearly done. There's only one thing that I can't do, because I don't have the tool for it, and this bolt here in there, let's put it on zoom, bear with. I need to get an arm that comes out here, because I don't have it. So just got to get that, and then that can be tightened up, and then the bumper can go back on. So let's get these arms on, and hopefully the lower bar can go on, and then we can be done by tomorrow, the last day before I go back to work. So one more thing to do, and then I can go and have a shower and feel fresh. So I think this is going to be the last part of the front of this car. and we've already pretty much got the top on. The bottom is pretty much done. We've just got the lower bar to put on and put the lower arms on as well, and then that will pretty much be just the actual general front of the car sorted, and then it's all a case of connecting up everything else, like the wiring and connecting and getting this bumper on, and then we can move the car, so that I can then start working on getting the inner wheel liner off and replaced. But yeah, so yeah, it's not too bad. It's all generally coming together. Now I've put a bit more effort into it and I've got a bit more time. So yeah, let's get on with the lower arm. So again, this looks to be an LCI style facelift part, because you can see from these two. So these inner two here are the old ones, and then these two outer ones are the new ones. Now if I had the sort of the 2014 crash bar, that would probably fit fine into those, but I don't, because obviously that crash bar is broken. So it looks like they've changed the design and they've tilted it. So luckily, obviously, we've got this LCI lower crash bar, and they will go onto the ends there. So I'll put these on, and then we'll slide it, or hopefully just be able to put that straight in. And yeah, so let's get going on that. The lower bar is on and the legs are on, so that is all. Didn't feel the need to record that. It's just some bolts. There's a bit of hammering to try and get the legs in properly, but other than that, that's that. So this is redundant. This is going to be for the electronically activated slats down here, which we don't have on the 2014, so this is useless. So I will be tucking this away, or maybe cutting it off. It's not going to do anything. We've got, I think this is for, it's either for the fog light or for the headlamp washer, and then this one again is for one of those. So those two are for that. That can get cut off, and again the same side here, headlamp washer and fog light. So yeah, and then I think I've explained, just got to get this off, get that one on. The only thing that I know that is missing from that front, as opposed to when the car turned up, was the brake ducts, which were totally and utterly completely useless and pointless, because they went into the inner wheel arch, if you remember, and there was no cover. So sorry, there was a cover, so in essence they didn't put any air into the wheel arch to cool the brakes. That's only for the 135 or the 140. They were useless, so got rid of them. And we also need to put in there's these sort of semicircular plates that go sort of here. We also need to install the under tray as well, which I can't really do in this angle. Need to get the car moved, and then we need to trial fit the bumper as well, which I'm hoping should absolutely be fine. It hasn't been running for a number of months, it's totally dead. I've also thought about this foam bar that runs across the front, which you get generally on pretty much all the cars as like an absorbent piece. They're like 40-45 quid second hand. I don't know whether or not it's worth having, because the bumper will still go on, will still do its job, but it just meant that if I was to bump a car maybe at 10 miles an hour, the bumper might crack maybe. So don't really see the point in that for 45 quid. It's not really going to do any it's not going to make that any better. But yeah, so yeah, we've got ever so slight gap in here, but until I get the bumper on, I can work out whether or not I can adjust these lights to get that back in. Normally I tend to, and I think we're on our way. So I think, yeah, the next video will be probably putting the front bumper on, if I'm being honest with you. I think the front bumper can go on. Once that's all on and in place, then we can then start on testing everything out, and hopefully I can get to do that on when I'm off work, which will be later on in the week. But yeah, so that's going to be the end of the part 2 on this segment of the front end. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments to make, do let me know. And yeah, until next time, thank you all again for watching. Sorry it's not Fiat, but hopefully again it's something a bit different, and I will catch up with you all again soon. Also, if you're still here and you're still watching, just hit that like button for me. That would be most appreciated. But until next time, see you all later. Okay, so I've bought the bumper inside so I can work on it away from the cold spell that we're currently going through, but also because it is a bit more complicated than normal. So what we've got, as you can see from here, so this is the jet washer hose. Just ignore that because it's actually just on the floor, so there's no particular reason behind that. May have a slight issue with that, but I'm not going to know until I get to the car. But what we've got, so we come around to the back here. Let me put on the torch. Okay, so the fog lights, I purchased 2 new fog lights. They're LED ones rather than the halogen ones. They screw in, quite nicely. No issues there at all. The sensors, parking sensors, go obviously into the front here, and the wiring loom, which I've got here, which needs to go in. However, I've randomly lost one of those just gone to look for it and it's not there. So I've got most of them, but I'm not going to put that in until I find where the other sensor's gone, which is annoying. So yeah, anyway, so windscreen washer, which are these here. If you don't know, either because you're up to your like Fiat 500s or whatever, here's your washer pump, should we say. It doesn't work on any form of electronics other than water pressure, which is piped through that little nozzle there into there, and then here is the pressure pushes this out. So what you've got from this side is obviously that comes out. There's a cap that I've got to put on in there. So the hose connects from here, and then it like feeds through here, and then over to that one at the far end. Now, the problem is that I've noticed and that I've got to sort out is when I went and when the car was, when I took the bumper off, initially when I got the car, if you imagine that, how this kind of works is the windscreen washer pipe that obviously connects up with the actual windscreen washer itself, comes down to here, then it basically feeds into here, and then obviously runs through to the other one. Now that was cut because this is the original, and I don't know. The problem I don't have is I don't know where it is on the car. I wish I could show you, but it's dark now. Is where it was cut. Now, if it's literally been cut without losing any centimetres, then this will all connect up fine. If, however, it's had like 4, 5, 6 centimetres cut off it, this is not going to work. And I can't think for the life of me where I'm going to get the sort of the rest of the cable, or how I'm going to be able to connect up to the pipe. So how this works is that connects into there, like so. That technically has the master pipe running into that, and then that then pushes onto that there, and then, as I say, through pressure, water pressure, that's how they pop out. So no real electronic. But yeah, so what I've got to do is get these on, get that done, and get that in, and take it basically outside and see whether or not I'm massively short on the length of this. And if I am, God knows how I'm going to get a pipe or piping to extend it so it allows for this to work. So yeah, otherwise we are slowly getting there with the bumper. Right, so I thought this bumper was done, but it's not. This is as you can see by the length of this here, a strip that sits, take it round there, sits basically on the bottom of the bumper, as you can probably see there. That sits in there, and what then happens is you connect the underfloor cover, engine cover, that runs the length, well, not the length, but runs underneath the engine, and then it basically screws into this here. So rather than this being one a whole piece, bumper whole piece, you have to buy this separate part here. Now this is an aftermarket part. Could have got a second-hand one, but this is just a piece of plastic. This, brand new, was 50 quid. Managed to get a discount on it, so I think I bought it down to £40. This piece of plastic alone was £40, but that now enables me to get the underfloor guard connected up from underneath. I don't really think it makes much of a difference, to be honest, but anyway, I have got that, so that needs to go on. And then somewhere, I probably didn't say, was so it's getting a bit dark now, bear with me. So the sensors, parking sensors, obviously have got to be coloured. Now somehow I've managed to lose one of those, so I had to order another one, so that's delayed it, but I have got another one and I have sprayed it, so I just need to connect that into this one here, then that can go into the front there, and then we are done
with the bumper. I was going to put these on and connect them up here. I'm now contemplating whether or not I actually put those onto the wheel arch liner instead, and then the bumper goes on, and then I connect them up, rather than these going on the bumper and then it all then gets connected to the wheel arch liner. So probably not going to do that. So yeah, we need to get that strip on there, get the sensors in there, and then we're going to have to work out whether or not this piping here is good enough and long enough and to fit the actual pipe coming from the car. I suspect it's not, because I suspect that the garage has hacked that away, but I'm not going to know until I get it out. So yeah, that is the bumper, hopefully good to go. Unfortunately, the weather has taken a bit of a turn recently, and I've been away for work, so I've not been able to really do much more on this right now, but hopefully over the next few days I can get something going on this, assuming that it's not literally pissing down with rain every single day. So yeah, just had to pour quite a bit of coolant into that, probably about a litre, maybe 2 litres into there. The line for this to see where it's up to is actually on the inside, because there's nothing on the outside. So when you turn that off you can see it. So that is on and in. What I'm going to do is leave that be and see if it leaks or anything, and come back to that. But hopefully that is in place, so that's good. Hopefully no leaks, and then we'll be able to start it. Yeah, and get it going. I just also need to get rid of this wire, so yeah, need to do that. Still need to do that, but that literally just be, I think, a cut. I think I'll just cut that. And it's still flat, so I need to actually get, while I'm here, I need to actually get some bolts out of here. Well, I've been just keeping random stuff in the car, so I'm going to do that now, and that will be for the bumper, and then we can get the bumper on. But I'll try and start this hopefully in the next couple of days, and see where we're at. So today we are going to be jump starting the 1 Series, because I need to get it moved. So my plan is to it's basically flat, and I want to make sure that everything works, because it needs to go and it needs to be moved away out my parking space. So let's get the jump pack on it, and we'll get some power to the car, and then take it from there, and hope, fingers crossed, that we're not going to have any issues. I'll have to run it for about 10 minutes, but yeah, hopefully everything's going to be alright. We've topped up that doesn't appear to be leaking. That's the positive, and this is going to be the negative. And yeah, right, let's have a look. Okay, so I can't remember how much fuel we've got. Okay, it's not too bad. Right, let's try and get my foot down here. That didn't go. That did not go, did it? That's a bit worrying. Has the battery completely and utterly gone? Not good at all. How much did that take out of it? 46.
Why is that not starting? It's not starting. Let's just get rid of all this crap. Because we don't need that down there. Right. Let's try that again. Why is this not going? Turn that off. It's not good, is it? Okay, right. Back to the drawing board on this one. Okay, a few days on, and where were we at? Wouldn't start. So I have had the C-Tech on this for well over 2 days. It took nearly a day to actually get this battery or the lights to even go past to get up to 4. So now it's just trickle charging its way, just keeping the battery just nicely topped up. So that battery was completely and utterly dead, totally dead, but C-Tech hopefully has managed to revive it. Now apparently you can start the car with that connected, apparently. So I'm now going to attempt to do that, because I need to get this going, because I move out of my property on Thursday night, and yeah, this needs to go from the parking space. So we are now going to try and get this running. I'm just going to run it for about 10 minutes to make sure that everything is okay and that it's not overheating or anything like that. So yeah, let's get this set up, and then hopefully everything's going to be okay. Right, so I tried this last night to put the ignition on. It's going to come up with different types of failures: the fog lights, washer fluid, and the fact that the bonnet is open. So we're going to get a few dings going on, and yeah, God, let's have a look. Oh yeah, and the outside temperature is -40. Right, fuel reserve, don't have to worry about that too much. Bonnet open, yes. Water fluid level low, yeah. And set time as well, which we need to do, and fog light failure. Right, clutch down, turn the aircon off. Okay, good, it started. That's the main thing. We have an engine management light on. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I think the idea is that I'm just going to let this run for 10 or so minutes, because we'll just turn that off, because I want to make sure that this is all up to temperature and that there's no issues or anything like that. So yeah, that's the main thing, that I'm not going to have to drag it out of the car parking space. And it doesn't sound too bad at the moment. So let's just give it a little yeah, seems all right. But the truth is when we're driving it. So let's just try and get the windscreen wipers to reset. There we go, that's good. and I've got no idea about time, so I can't do that for the minute, but I'm not too worried about that. And yeah, right, let's go outside and have a look. So, tiny little tapping sound from there, but the problem is it's a 2-litre diesel engine from a BMW, and these things generally sound like a tractor anyway. It's not a V6 or anything, so yeah. Headlights work okay, so that is good. Yeah, no misfire, doesn't sound like it's misfiring, so that's handy as well. So all we've got to do is just allow this just to tick over for 10 minutes or so, because that's been sitting for too long, and I dread to even think what carbon has been built up in there. But yeah, right, I'll come back again in about 10 minutes just so we can see where we're at. Okay, we're about 10 minutes in. Bearing in mind obviously that the condenser and the radiator's been changed, just ran the air conditioning, that seems to be okay. At the moment, touch wood, nothing seems to be wrong. Obviously just got to look at engine management light, but in order to get this going and get it moved, everything at the moment seems to be okay. So I'm gonna call it time on the car. I'll turn it off, and yeah, I think we're all should be ready to move. I'll get that bumper on so I can at least drive it and get it removed, but yeah, otherwise and all the lights are on and working, so that's all good. So hopefully, because it will need an MOT as well, but I just need it gone from this space. So yeah, things are moving on with the BMW finally. I've lost track, what was it, 6 months or something like that since I've had this. Pretty much done nothing really with it, but hopefully we are slowly and surely getting there.